Welcome back. All right, our next guest got bitten by the literary bug at a relatively young age. Her first poem was published when she was just 10 years old. Since then, she's kicked it up a notch, becoming a novelist. Please welcome local author Kaye Schmitz to the show. How you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. And we got this is your latest book.
Correct. Yes.
But before we get into this one, the first poem at 10 years old. Did you know right away, like as a young age, like yes, I'm going to be a writer?
No, not at all. I always did write, and my parents and my teacher were so shocked when I wrote the poem at 10. It was like, oh, let's get this published. But in high school, I always wrote short stories. When I was in my 20s, I was single and would sometimes spend Saturday afternoons visiting a psychic, just for kicks. Yeah.
Nice.
And they would look at my palms and say, oh, you're a writer. It's like, well, yeah, I guess I am. But anyway, so finally I decided to go ahead and act on it.
There you go. And so this latest book is the Consort Conspiracy.
Correct.
Without giving away the details and the whodunit, what's it about?
It's actually, it's called a time slip, which is a story that's told in two different time frames. In this case, 200 years apart, about a current day woman who goes to the lowlands of Georgia and unearths the clues to solve a 200-year-old murder.
Cold case file.
Exactly, yes.
There you go. So that's a modern day cold case file, and this kind of goes in line, as you were saying, with your writing style and your storytelling style. There seems to be a lot of mystery type novels you're writing, right?
Well, yes, and the way I got the spark of the idea for this, I actually visited a real-life 300-year-old cemetery in Midway, Georgia, that has signers of the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution.
Wow.
That's why I went there, to see the history. But when I was there, I was drawn to a certain part of the cemetery and saw the graves, one of which I write about. It was a 17-year-old, and they called her a consort, who died, and she had her twin daughters buried with her. And I thought, oh, the poor little thing. But that was the spark for the story.
So something happened in the cemetery. Were you by yourself?
Yes,
and was
as
it
a matter
nighttime?
of fact. It was daytime,
okay.
Yes, but I really felt like somebody reached out to me and said, hello, I have a story to tell here.
Very cool. And so you gave a little nod to the person there that you saw?
Exactly.
And did you use her name in the book?
No, I did put her name in the author's note to the readers, but I gave her a different name in the book.
That's great. And how many books have you written total?
I have now written the second book that I'm still polishing, and that one takes place in North Carolina.
How do you do it? Because I like writing, and when I do write something, it sometimes comes out okay, but it just takes me forever because I agonize over every line.
Well, I have to tell you, the big thing is to write it. Having a good story to tell is great. Every time I've met with an editor, they have said, congratulations for finishing your book. And my agent has told me that when she meets people at conferences who want to send her pages, she said 80% of them don't even do it. So write and finish writing and then rewrite. But the thing that I have found when I write, it's the coolest thing. When you need for something to happen, it'll be there.
Yeah.
Characters just sort of present themselves and say, okay, you need to put me here. And I do.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing about the process. And are you a writer that goes away to a cabin in the woods and isolation and writes? Or?
No, in fact, my mentor is Steve Berry, the international thriller writer who actually lives not too far from me. He's been wonderful. But he's very disciplined. He gets up early, he writes every day, 1,000 words a day. I don't get up early, and when I go to my office, I might write 3,000 or 4,000 words, but it just flows, and I know when it's time to go back and get more done.
You're in touch with the universe and yourself, listening to the voices.
Exactly. Yes, I do listen to the voices. Yes.
I do too. I do too. We're akin.
I love that.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Kaye.
Thank you.
My mom's name was Kaye, so. It's special memories for me. So appreciate you being here, and thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
And remember her novels. If you want to get more about Kaye and her novels, visit kaydschmitzauthor.com. And remember, her books are also available on Amazon and in Barnes & Noble.